All right, folks. Today is the 23rd, I believe, of June. I'm not pointing at myself because I'm not dressed to Facebook standards right now. So we'll just look at the car. Just a quick start to this next video. As you can see, I now have the drive shaft removed. The car is sitting up, I don't know, a little over 2 feet. I haven't actually measured it yet because all I really cared about was making sure the transmission could fit under there while it's sitting on top of its jack. And it does, as you can see. It slides under there. It might run into that exhaust pipe. I don't know, but I'm not too worried about that. If I have to take the pipe down, I'll take it down. Um, but at least I'm working on it, so I'm pretty excited. I drained the oil pan for the transmission. Of course, made a big mess under there. I had to clean that up, but I got it cleaned up. You can see these heavy-duty 12-ton jacks that give me plenty of height, although they're maxed out, or the jack is anyway. In fact, I've got blocks of wood on top of it too. Still wasn't quite high enough, but anyway, I got to where I needed. But when I pulled the drive shaft out, I discovered something very interesting in the tail shaft of the transmission. You can see there's something sticking out there that I don't think it's supposed to be there. So I've been waiting for the video before I pull it out, see what it is. Yeah, so it's looks like it's some kind of an actuating rod. I'm not really sure what it is, but this could explain why the transmission started malfunctioning on me, 6 months ago, whenever it was, when it first started acting up and started leaking like crazy. So that's a clue. I have no idea what that is. Maybe somebody can tell me. Brian, if you're watching, maybe you can tell me what that little rod is that came out of the tail shaft. But anyway, I'm working on disconnecting everything. Like I said, I've already drained the oil out of it. On top, I've already disconnected several of the top side bolts that hold the transmission to the engine. So everything else I do will be underneath here as I disconnect the rest of them, disconnect the lines, disconnect all the supports under here, the linkage, all that stuff has still got to come off. But I'm well underway now, so I'm pretty happy about that. So the next thing I'm going to do is take out the starter. That should be pretty easy with this kind of height under here. So that's it for the moment. I'm just looking at this shaft a little more clearly again, and I don't know how well you can see. It's not really focusing right, but the end of it is at an angle, like it was sheared off, like it snapped off inside the transmission. I wish I could get it to focus better, but I guess that's maybe I just stayed there. We go. Maybe that helps. Then again, maybe not. Anyway, that shaft is definitely a clue as to what's going on inside the transmission. Not that it matters right now because I'm under replacing the transmission. All right, so I'm a little slow. I said earlier that I was going to take out the starter. I did, and then I went under there and decided to disconnect the torque converter from the flywheel using those, getting those 4 9/16 nuts off. And then it occurred to me I had to rotate the engine, and I really can't get to the front of the engine too well because there's not room on top, and I got this jack in the way underneath where I would normally use a breaker bar and a big socket. So instead, it made more sense just to put the starter back in, which is what I did. And so I've got my remote starter down here hooked up, and I checked it before I call in here to make sure the car didn't move or something crazy. I don't need this thing falling down on me. And it was perfectly stable. So now, if I can get the light on here better, maybe. There we go. So we're just going to kick the starter and rotate until we get the next bolt in place. Yeah, I think it might be there. Almost. There it is, right there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's right there where I can get to it with the socket now. And then I'll just do that for the last three, and that'll be that part. And I'll take the starter back out. Morning, everyone. It is the 25th of June, 2025. Hope you're all doing well. In my garage here, working on my project. Um, making pretty good progress. I've got all 8 bolts removed that hold the engine to the transmission. They're out. Starter's out. I took the dipstick out this morning. It's over there on the ground. There's the cross member there that was under there. Um, got all the linkage removed. So transmission's pretty much ready to come out. And I was excited. I got my new jack under here, raised it up, only to discover it doesn't go high enough. It's at maximum height, which is about 24 and a half inches. And I measured it, and sure enough, that's where it's at. Don't go any higher. So I'm about 2 inches short. I measured that gap too. That's 2 inches. So I'm in a dilemma right now. I mean, I'll solve it, but just annoys me because I wanted to raise the car high enough to easily clear the body right here, with the transmission coming out. And I got it high enough to do that, but it never occurred to me that that jack might not reach high enough to touch the transmission to lower it on there. So my thinking is that I'm probably just going to have to lower the car those 2 inches that I need. I'll lower the transmission jack first so I don't slam into it, and then get the transmission loose and out, and then probably have to raise the car back up again those 2 inches to clear the side. So a little more complicated. It's going to take some more time. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this segment of this video so I can get it posted because I don't know. I don't think I'm going to have time today before I got to go to work to keep working on it and get that out. I was hoping to get the transmission out today, but with this little setback, I don't think that's going to happen. So, but anyway, I'm almost there. I'm so close. All right, last little tidbit I promised for this video. I decided to try putting a 2 inch block up there, which works perfectly. It's not exactly the way it's designed to work because now the weight of the transmission is going to be supported by the oil pan instead of the body of the transmission, but it's not that heavy, especially compared to an engine. So I'm not too concerned about that. Got my little safety chain wrapped around the transmission, but I'm running out of time today. So I'm going to wait for another day to actually lower it out of the car. But that's it for now. Thank you.